Nigel Farage standing by right now for us in London. There is so much to get to, and I'm so pleased with the show that he chooses to appear on each and every week because, mate, Kamala Harris, so apparently if she's going to do an interview before the end of the month, she's going to have, as Megyn Kelly says, her emotional support governor with her. But more importantly, this whole thing about the debates, all right? I get the distraction because the real thing is 3 years since the horror of Afghanistan. But she wants notes. Like, honestly, this is a person who, for a whole week, last week, was the second coming and was so smart and so brave and so strong. Then why does she need notes at a debate and a minder in an interview?
Well, truth is, of course, as soon as she's off script, on subjects like economics, she just flaps and flounders around because she clearly hasn't got a blooming clue. Now, the rules of these debates were, of course, between Biden and Trump. All the Trump team are saying is the same rules should apply. And I think in America, in Britain and elsewhere, I see too many of these big political programmes where leading figures are allowed to go in with a big crib sheet, thick of notes, turn to the subject and read it out. I think broadcasters need to be much, much tougher on our leaders. Have a pencil and blank sheet of paper, by all means, but Team Trump are absolutely right to say no notes.
Yeah, this is my thing. It's not about microphones, because we all know the microphone thing is her just turning around going, I'm speaking. Yeah, OK, who cares, right? No one cares about that. It's about the notes, because this is meant to be a mental test, because people are busy and they go, OK, what do you like for an hour? How do you go? We saw what happened with Biden, and I think Harris is going to get her obvious sugar hit in the polls, but I think she's in trouble when they can't put her out there. Now, it's not because they're trying to be scarce with her. You can't be scarce in an election. I mean, you were able to get millions of votes because you were everywhere. You can't hide, can you, mate?
No, I mean, Biden got away with it in 2020 because of the pandemic. They sort of locked him in his bunker in Delaware and used the pandemic as cover. No, I mean, look, she has not given a single major press conference, a single major television or radio interview. She gets up on stage, she reads off an auto cue, and as soon as she goes off that, she is literally clueless. And so the point about not having notes is, you're testing mental acuity, yes, but you're also testing instinct. You know, a question may come up that you hadn't necessarily thought would. It's how do you instinctively deal with that? And so often with politicians like Kamala Harris, one senses there isn't that much instinct there. The job is all about reaching, a title, position, rank, respectability. It's more about that than what the person actually believes in. So this debate on the 10th of September, it is crucial. We need to see these two people head to head. And I'm sure after negotiations, I'm sure it will happen. But she can't be allowed to go in with a crib sheet.
By the way, in fairness, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about the need for Trump to tighten up. Well done to any and everyone who's making some of the decisions around him. The RFK endorsement, incredible. It moves votes, it moves states, hence why they're all going crazy at the moment trying to push back. Secondly, the tighter use of language is better. But today he was invited by families to lay a wreath on the third anniversary of the horrors of 13 people being killed. As they just cut and run from Afghanistan. Then he goes to a Vietnamese restaurant. Then he goes to the National Guard and gives a speech where Tulsi Gabbard backs him in. Like, this bloke's working for it. That's the guy who can win.
Yeah, I mean, Trump is a workaholic. He is extraordinary. You know those big rallies where he gets up and he speaks for 80, 90 minutes? At the end of that last campaign in 2020, I think the day before the election, he did 4 or 5 of those massive speeches all over America. I mean, you're right. He's working for it. He's going for it. I have to say, I thought that the Kennedy endorsement was not just very graceful, but I thought that the words that we used were also incredibly powerful. And I quite like the idea of make America healthy again. Mm-hmm. Get people off prescription drugs, get them away from too much junk food. I thought all of that was, OK, you can say that Kennedy's a bit out there, but I just felt it was a very, very powerful endorsement. And it's not that the wheels are coming off Kamala. It's just that people are now seeing Trump for what he really is. There's no doubt, when I spoke to you last week, I said to you that I felt he was going off course. He wasn't really on target. He was obsessing with Biden. I think since then, he's now back doing all the right things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, also, the other thing with the Make America Healthy, and firstly, don't touch the orange cheese, right? It is awesome, and as a big boy, I do like that. But, and mozzarella sticks, all of those things. However, it reminds me of when Drain the Swamp was first introduced, because no one ever talks about permanent Washington, the bureaucracy, right? And this was this huge strain of, we've got a problem there. You've now got a strain of people saying, do we have a problem with our health? I mean, look at us compared to everyone else around the world. I think this is one of those things, and Megyn Kelly's talked about it, that is a really rich vein of people who may vote every now and then or go, you know what, I don't really care about economic policy, I care about this.
Yeah, I mean, amazing to think, isn't it, that in America, which progressively gets richer than all the rest of us. I mean, amazing to think America's GDP is now double the European Union's, and it was equal to it in 2008. Think about that. So America gets richer and richer, and yet life expectancy in America has fallen quite sharply over the course of the last few years. And that is diet, it is exercise, but it's also endless prescription drugs. And so I think this could be a very rich seam indeed.
Good man. Thank you, Nigel. We'll see you again next week.